Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are previewing Week 1 in the NFL regular season. We are talking with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com, and I've asked him to give us his thoughts on maybe the most controversial team heading into the NFL season, the San Francisco 49ers. Joe Duffy, San Francisco's a 2.5-point home underdog in Week 1 against Minnesota, and the big question is, are reports of San Francisco's demise exaggerated, and if so, how exaggerated? How much will the coaching change, help San Francisco, hurt them? How much will their losses on defense be a problem? And how improved will Colin Kaepernick be this year? And they're playing Minnesota, who was world beaters in the preseason. Obviously, they're a team on the rise and a team that's improving. Teddy Bridgewater is good and likely only going to get better. The offensive line will have to protect them, though. Week 1, San Francisco is a 2.5-point home underdog. What do you think might be a good play here?
I can understand why they are a 2.5-point home underdog. Look, they did lose, of course, their coach, Jim Harbaugh. It may or may not have been the right time, but between free agency and some retirements, I don't know if any defense has had a bigger overhaul in recent memory than the 49ers. They're going to be breaking in a bunch of new starters, and that's not even to account for their best defensive player, Frank Gore, is scoring. Now, people are maybe saying, what did I? Yes, if you're a person who has been a client of mine or watch my videos, I always say that the best defense is one that is off of the field. And Frank Gore is somebody who has kept the defense off of the field. San Francisco's smash-mouth offense, where they have a good running quarterback, and they had one of the best pile-driving running backs in the game for years. That was a big part of the success of the San Francisco defense. So now all of a sudden, the 49ers are going to be counted on a lot more. I'm not, totally sold. Look, Teddy Bridgewater did exactly what you wanted to see a rookie or a first-year quarterback. Back in the, about 10 years ago, you almost never had rookie starting quarterbacks, but Bridgewater did improve as the year went on. From week 13 on, he was first in completion percentage, second in passer rating, second in yards per pass attempt, and third in touchdowns as far as touchdown percentage, and that is from week 13 on. But again, let's see if he can maintain that momentum. He did get better as the year went on. Whether or not I'm ready to completely fall in love with him, but when you said controversial, I thought you were going to mention Adrian Peterson, who of course is back. So with an improved quarterback, hopefully for Minnesota anyway, Bridgewater might be the next star quarterback. We know that they have a star running back who is very rested for well-publicized reasons, so he should be fresh and motivated. So I do understand why Minnesota is the favorite here, but that doesn't, why Minnesota is a favorite here, I should say, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I am in love with them.
Yeah, when I said San Francisco was controversial, I didn't mean it in like the drama, like Caitlyn Jenner kind of way. I meant it from a handicapping perspective.
Yes.
People are debating. Some people saying that, San Francisco is in complete free fall. They're going to be a great fade, and that they're going to have a terrible year, and that they're, the worst team in, the NFC West. And other people saying that that their decline is exaggerated, and actually the coaching change will help Colin Kaepernick a lot, and that San Francisco might be a good bet. What's your take on that debate?
Well, I do think that Kaepernick is clearly one of those quarterbacks that has regressed, and maybe change for the sake of change will benefit him. Not so much that Harbaugh wasn't a good coach, because we know that Harbaugh was a quarterback himself, but that maybe things were getting in the Kaepernick's head. And I like to quote Yogi Berra often, so it'll be the first time this football season I say it, but he used to say 90% of the game is half mental. So I do think that the change just for the sake of change should help Kaepernick and maybe get back to where his production matches his talent. So I do think that maybe that the demise of San Francisco is grossly exaggerated, but there is, again, two of his best weapons, his best wide receiver and running back are both going, so he's not surrounded by as much, and his defense isn't going to help him out as much this year. But I do think that Kaepernick is a better quarterback than he's shown the past couple years.
All right, well, it's an interesting handicapping situation, and the line set here, San Francisco plus 2.5. The total is 41.5. Are you going to grace us with a pick, Joe Duffy, or are you going to leave us with a pass?
No, this time I think I'm going to have Peter Loshak grace you with a pick.
All right, well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do here, Joe Duffy. I think I'm going to take a shot with the over 41.5. I like Minnesota. I think Minnesota's offense is efficient and should be productive. I think we'll see, some quality play from Kaepernick, and 41.5. Actually, I did see 41 at Pinnacle, but everywhere else it's 41.5. So I'll give myself 41.5. That's going to be my official pick for this video, over 41.5. What's your second take on that, Joe? You endorse it?
Yeah, I would think that that's some pretty good logic. It's one of those where I don't I don't completely disagree. That doesn't necessarily mean that I agree, but we'll go with that.
It's a pass for Joe Duffy. I'll give over 41.5 as the pick for this video. And Joe Duffy, your premium plays, your plays that you're absolutely very confident in, go at offshoreinsiders.com every week, right, Joe?
Not too shabby. 17-5 the last 22. We've got, people have requested football-only packages. We've got those available. A ton of picks already up, college and NFL. Even as we file this report, more coming. A lot of check marks next to some possible plays. Joe Duffy's picks at offshoreinsiders.com.